If the kids are not given the proper skills they needed while they're in the classroom to do the homework, now we have a problem. And once again, it goes back to teachers not teaching. But it's up to the parents to make sure that the behavior is in check.
Are we seeing something different in the kids these days? Are they able to do what they need to do in the classroom? Or is it something where the teachers need to constantly be hovering over them to help them finish their schoolwork? Well, check out some of these videos, see what you think. I know that sometimes the classrooms can get loud and things like that, but I know it wasn't like that when I was younger. So let me know what you think in the comments below.
We got to talk about these kids, y'all, because teachers all over of all grade levels are having the same issue, and it just has to stop. It just has to. These kids cannot stay quiet and listen to save their lives. And here's the thing, I teach first grade. The longest I will have them sitting in one spot is maybe 7 minutes. Okay? I'm not talking about standing up in front of them and lecturing. Here's what I'm talking about. Yesterday I was mid-sentence teaching math, and 3 of my kids just turned around on the carpet, put all their feet in the middle, and started playing bubblegum in a dish, loudly, mind you, in the middle of my lesson, mid-sentence. Had no qualms about it, did not realize that anything was wrong. That's an issue. I've heard other teachers talk about how they can't stop tapping their pencils or humming or whistling. I'm having the same issue in my room. We need to teach them that it is disrespectful when someone is talking to you or teaching you to snap your fingers and whistle and hum or yell out over them. And yet it also needs to happen in other places. Let's just practice having dinner as a family and taking turns talking and not having a device in front of us and being able to sit the whole time. I mean, there's so many other times and opportunities for those conversations to come up and for us to practice those things, but it is impossible to teach the kids with the way it's happening.
Something is in the water because the behavior is not changing. When I first started teaching 7 years ago before COVID, I could threaten to call home and they would stop. I could call home and they would stop. This year, baby, I'm calling home. I'm changing seats. I'm giving warnings. I'm writing them up. And it's just like, they come back and they do it again. And then the attitude on them. Why do I have to ask you who you're talking to? Why do you not know who you're talking to? And then they always want to be like, oh, this teacher's mean. That teacher's mean. Are they? Are they mean? Are they really? Or you just don't understand boundaries, okay? Because this is not a playground. Who are you?
Okay, but the phenomenon of, like, teachers having to, like, handhold your child is very alarming. Like, actually. Like, when I was in middle school, like, I'm 30, by the way. When I was in middle school, a teacher never had to, like, stand over me and be like, why aren't you doing the work? Why aren't you doing the work? What are you working on? Like, where's your laptop? Where's your charger? But I do that all day. Like, and I don't understand why that is. I mean, obviously, it's, like, those damn phones, and it's the internet, and it's, like, the learned helplessness or whatever. But it's, like, actually, like, very frightening. Like, how many children in, like, a room full of, like, 30 kids, maybe, like, 11 are doing the work, like, independently on their own, without being told, without being handheld the whole time. That's alarming. Like, alarming. And, like, the kids who are the most well-rounded and the most respectful and, like, the ones who get the work done are the ones who don't have phones.
A lot of people ask me why I don't suffer middle school and high school, since it's so much easier, right? You just have to monitor and pretty much just bring a book, relax, and make sure they stay alive. Let me tell you why. Okay, so the first time I stepped foot in a middle school, I accepted a week-long job. I was like, can't be that bad, right? Wrong. When I tell you, I can't even describe how scary and mean and rude and I'm just gonna say, like, kind of evil. Middle schoolers are, they're so scary. They're so, like, I wake up with nightmares sometimes about being in middle school. Like, I would come home crying every single night of that week long because they're so mean. They're so mean. And in that assignment, I was assigned a job that the class was in a library. And the students were very disruptive and loud, and like whatever I did, it was so hard to, like, even the front desk was like, yeah, that's a really hard group. Like, all her classes are really hard. So, like, gross. There was one boy who was so disgusting to me. Thankfully, he was suspended the second day for another thing he did, but so he would come in while I was having lunch and bring all his friends and be like, that's her. Like, and it was the time when yacht was a popular thing to say. So, like, whenever I turn around, all the boys would be like, yacht. I needed any break I could get. Oh, it was horrible. And so the last day that I was there, I found out that they had all switched names. One student came up to me and was like, oh, just to let you know, like, we all switched names. So the notes I was writing all week, they were all wrong. Because
I'm going to tell you exactly why the students are not performing on an academic level that the teachers feel like they should. I know we blame everything on COVID, but COVID literally took on a monster that none of us could prepare ourselves for, really. When the kids start learning online, it blurred the line between what a teacher does and what a parent does. And it's been a disconnect ever since. And because the parents and the teachers can't get on the same page, children are suffering. Back in my day, a parent's job when it came to learning was to just check to see if my questions and stuff was right to the best of their ability. Because let's be clear, parents do not remember what they were learning in elementary school, middle school, or probably even high school, because we don't really use what they teach in school in real life. You tell me the last time you used X and Y in an algebraic equation as an adult. I feel like it is the parent's job to make sure that the child is behaving properly to the point where they can receive education in the classroom and not be a behavioral distraction. But the teacher's job is to make sure that the child gets the material and learns it well enough to be able to do their homework at home with no problems. It's called homework for a reason. It's to be worked on at home. If the kids are not given the proper skills they needed while they're in the classroom to do the homework, now we have a problem. And once again, it goes back to teachers not teaching. But it's up to the parents to make sure that the behavior is in check so that the student can be taught in the first place. Because what's happening is y'all trying to force parents to be teachers when that's not even their career field. Just because you're a parent doesn't mean you're fit to be a teacher, and that's what COVID caused.
So the student has a 25 in the class, okay? Said student came and said that the counselor told him to inquire to see if there is anything he can do to get his grade up so that he can graduate in December. So in order to get his grade up, that means he will need to have a 70 by December the 18th. All right, so for context, the first 15 weeks of school, you only got your grade to a 25. Remember, I told y'all we need to do some math. So how many points is he going to need to get in this next 3 weeks to get his grade to 70? Y'all do the math. All right, also for context, said student has been absent 26 times from the class, and of those remaining days that he's been present, he's been tardy 20 times to the class. Okay, but let's play devil's advocate here. I gave all of my students the opportunity to complete 4 projects over the Thanksgiving break to replace 4 failing grades. Okay, so said student could complete these projects, put them in, and hey, we'll see where the grade is gonna go. Monday, when we returned from Thanksgiving break, said student didn't come to school, so he definitely didn't turn any projects in. On Tuesday, said student walked in without the projects. Okay, so of course at this point I'm like, clearly you don't want to do it. I emailed the counselor and told her, confirming the fact that, hey, he did not do this. Just go ahead, let him know he's not graduating in December. So the counselor emails me back and says, is it possible for him to complete them and submit them by Friday? Now, at this point, I'm contemplating what kind of words can I say so that I won't get fired. Give kids so many chances, but if the kids don't want to do it, they are not going to do it.
According to teachers, it's becoming even more difficult to be in the classroom. And I know that it's tough. I do teach a number of students as well too, just one-on-one. But what I have seen is that sometimes the way that children do speak is a little bit different than how we used to speak when we were younger. So there's more profanity that's happening. There's just more sort of behavior and things that we would never have said maybe when we were younger to our parents or even to authority figures. And is this because of social media? Is it because of the parents themselves? Is it because of the friends that they have? The friend groups? Well, let me know what you think in the comments as well, and curious on all of your thoughts. I'll see you in the next video.